Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to walk you through how I solve the last two centers of a 9x9. You can see these four are done, and because this is an odd layer cube, I know that this is the orange side because the center is orange and that's the green. So the first thing I want to do is decide which color I want to solve, because the color I'm solving, once it's solved, the other side's automatically solved. So I'm only concentrating really on one color. And the way I'm going to look is I'm going to see which center cross is already done the most. And I don't mean like the full cross, I mean a bar, but I can look either way. Like if this is the orange side, I can see this side, it's got 3 pieces of orange that need to go in. This one's got 4. On the green side, I can see that this one's got 4 that go in and 3 here. So I can choose either one really. So what I would do is kind of look around the two and see which one has more pieces, like more bar solved. So this here I can see is pretty solved. So I'm going to go with the green, I think. I'm going to try to preserve this bar up here as I'm building this first cross piece. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but we'll see. So I need a piece to come right in here. So that's this piece can come down, get it out of the way, put this back. And now I need another piece that can go here, which can be this piece right here. If I turn it here and I hide it, put this back, and now you can see that this is here. Now I need these two. Well, here's one right here. So I'm going to move it. I'm trying to preserve this, so I'm using the right side. So I move this down, put this in, put it back. And now I need that piece right there. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to break this up a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that in. And there we go. Now here's a trick. I've got a cross built. I've got this line and this line. A really good trick to do this is, you see this piece where they intersect? You put a piece up here of the same color and you bring it down, and you can see that this still builds the cross piece, and then you can put this back. And now you've got 2. So the way that I build centers on big cubes is I do the first part like I did, and then typically I'll build one right next to it, and then one right next to that, and then one right next to that, leaving a whole side free. I won't put one here, and then these 2 outer ones on this side, leaving, random gaps. I won't do that. I want to build a whole side, leaving the other one free. And the reason for that is because it gives me a lot of room, because these right here now can be my building layers. These will be my placing layers, okay? And this is my building area. So what I want to do now is build one next to this. Well, this one's already got, pretty much done, but this one's pretty good too. But this one's got 2 that only need to be done. So I'm going to bring this out, put it in the top layer, put that back. Now what I'm going to do is start placing these 2 pieces. I need a piece that goes here, so I can see this piece here can come up, move it out of the way, put this down, and now let's see. We need a piece that goes here. And I can use this one. So I put this here, I hide that piece, and I bring this back. Now you can see we've got a bar made. So I'm going to put it in this layer by bringing where it needs to go up, put that down. Now I'm going to build an outside one right here. And I can see this one right here is really good for that. So I need a piece that goes right there to be in that position. So I'm going to put one in that position. I'm going to hide it, put this back, wrong way, and then realign, and you can see that it's built. And then I put it in its spot. Now this is where it starts getting tricky. You can build this entire piece, this entire one, like a full piece and then put it in, but these two, there's complications. We'll see that in a sec. So this is pretty well built already, so I'm just going to bring this out. And what do we need? We need a piece that goes here. So this is the third down on the right. So let's put that there. Now we need a piece right here. And the way that I recognize this piece is that it's 3 in and 3, 3 in and then 3 in again. So I need another piece that's 3 in and 3 in. And the only other one is right here. So what I'm going to have to do is cycle it around a little bit. So I can't put this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide it, use this empty spot to put it down. Now you can see that's here, and I want it to be in that position. So I'll put it there, hide it, and now put it back. And now we need this one right here. So let's see, if I turn it like this, is there one down here that'll fit? And there is, right here. So we'll move this one up, get this out of the way, move that down. We'll put this in its slot by moving it up. Putting that in its place and putting it down. Now what we want to do is build another one here. So here's the one here that we're going to build, because as you can see, it goes in there. And we're missing the middle piece and then these two end pieces. So here's an end piece right here. So let's go ahead and put that up and then get rid of that. And now we need this piece here, which just happens to be this piece. So we put it in the spot, hide it, bring this back, add it. And now this piece here is right here. So we can't really hide this piece. So what we're going to do is we have to try to get this centerpiece across. Anytime that you have a centerpiece missing on an odd layered cube, so you've got the whole thing and a centerpiece that's missing, or not even really, you don't have to have it all built. This is just a technique to put it there. You need this to be opposite. So I need this to be here. So the way I would do that is I would hide this layer first. I would hide it, then I would move this over, and then I'd bring this one back. And now that they're built, or sorry, that they're across from each other, I can move this one in. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to hide this one with this layer. Okay, so this one's already built, and I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to put it backwards. And as you can see, we hid that piece, put this in there, and then put it back. Now we can insert it into the puzzle. Okay. Now this is where it gets a little bit complicated. We can see that this one here is a centerpiece, so I know I can put the centerpiece in using the same technique, and the centerpiece is right here. And the corner can also be put in because it's in this layer. This one, however, cannot be put in there without what we're going to do called a commutator, and I will show that in a second. The reason we can't put that in yet is because anytime that we move one of these layers in, whoops, because as you can see, it's in this layer here, which means that I would destroy that layer if I brought it out and moved it around. So what I can do is bring this to match up with that first. Get this away, put this back. And again, we're going to use the same technique to get this opposite of this. So we're going to hide this whole column, put that away from it, and now we can do the same technique. You don't necessarily have to bring up the green side. You can bring up the opposite side. And if you really didn't even want to do that and you didn't want to turn the cube and do that, you can even do it from here. You know, you can turn it like this because you're not destroying it. It's just the same thing, just put in backwards. So now we've got this whole thing built. Now we're going to put it in place. All right. So now we're going to have to commutate these pieces. This piece needs to come down here. So you need them to be in the same spot on their faces. So this is in the upper right. This one goes in the upper right. And this is a little bit difficult to wrap your head around at first, but don't worry, you're going to get it. If you already don't know it, of course, you might just be watching this for fun and already know what I'm doing and probably might even be better than me at it. So we're going to bring this piece down into this layer because we're trying to complete this line here. So we're completing that line. So now this line is built. We're going to move it out of the way and we're going to hide it using one of these full pieces here. We're going to hide the built layer that we've done. Now we've got this T looking thing. We're going to put this back, and now we're going to put this one back up, and then we're going to move this over again so we can put this one back. And as you can see, we have now done the last two centers. So here's an example that I didn't happen to stumble upon that I'm going to show you anyways, is when we're doing our last line like this, it's not just this layer, but other layers this can be applied to as well. I'm just doing it with the last layer, so it's not so confusing with other pieces on here. You might have to, you might think, okay, well, let's bring this out and start building it and then commutate a piece afterwards. But take a look at how these pieces are in relation to each other. If I put them in the same row, you can see that these two are on the top left, just like that, and this one is in the top right, just like this. Well, we're going to commutate all of these pieces at once. And this will actually help you finish your centers a lot faster. So we're going to bring this down into here, filling this orange space, and these two down into here, completing this whole line. Now I haven't used this whole section here or this section, so we can hide this with either side. This time let's go to the right. So I'm going to put it to the right, and I'm going to hide the line we just built. Now we'll put this back, and then we'll replace what we brought down on both of them. And now we can put that line back and then replace this back. So that is a basic 9x9 center. Sorry I over-explained it, but there's probably some people out there that still can't follow along. So I'm trying to, cater to everybody's skill level. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on my next video. What about the other?